G'day, we're just going to step through putting Daybreak Flywheels in a Ravyen Morpheus cage using a drill press. First you've got to set up the drill press to make sure that it's actually square, so just checking it against the drill bit. If it needs adjusting, adjust the table. To hold the flywheel cage, we'll be holding it in an engineer's vise. It doesn't have to be super flash, but it does have to be level. So I'm just winding the jaws back up into the face of the chuck there so that that's actually level. Again, with our flat block, or just anything that you can find to check that it's level, just get right down in there. If it needs any kind of adjustment, do it on the table itself. If it needs really fine adjustment, then just a piece of sandpaper can provide a nice solid lift on one side or on another if it needs it. As it is, this is pretty level. A good test is get a sheet of paper, slide it in there, and if it can spin just on one corner, then it's loose on the other side. And as it is, it's just a little bit loose here, so we're going to put the sandpaper under that side. And now that is connecting completely level and flat all round, so there's no spin on the paper. The flywheel cage, I've set the jaws of the vise there to hold it close but not tight. As it is, I'm using Fang RV motors in there, and they're super magnetic, so it's actually the magnets in the motors which are holding everything down. So putting that in there, moving that over to its central, and that now should, meets the top of the flywheel cage absolutely dead level, so that when I put the flywheel on to the shaft there, that sits right in the middle, and I can just press that down and it's going to go down on there completely dead level. Just happens that an 8mm Allen key sits directly underneath these, and you're supporting it right on the very bell end cap of the motor. If you don't support it there, as you push this down, you're going to push that whole cap straight off and you'll lose the motor. So supporting that in there, it just happens to be snug. Right, again placing that directly under and pushing down. Now I am just going to take this out and check, because it's a very close fit. But that does actually spin as freely as Fang RV allows. It kind of clunks around between the magnets, but it's not binding anywhere. That's the main thing. So I can pop that back in on top of the Allen key. It's supported underneath. It's dead flat. It's central, and just pushing down. Now I've measured everything up before, and the final measure I need a tiny amount poking out from here, so I'm just going to get them close, make sure that they're still running, get the other one going as well, and then I'll center them into the in the guide as well, so they're actually running evenly. The Daybreak wheel in this flywheel cage is actually a really close fit to the surface of the flywheel. The inside of the flywheel itself has to come within like 0.3 ideally from my measurements of the surface of that. I've filed it back a bit, so it might be around about 0.5, but there's only a tiny amount more of that the shaft's going to be exposed. So putting the second flywheel on, just evening it up, squishing it down a little bit. It's supported here by the Allen key underneath the bell of the motor, so it's not going to push the motor out. We're going to adjust the stop so that we're going to do this in stages and nothing is going to go wrong. Checking that down there, locking that off. So now I'll take the other side down to that same height as well. Swapping it over. Turning the cage around, centering it under the drill press. The dip stop's locked off. And it's only going to go to that one spot. So we're just going to crack that open a little bit. Eyeballing it up through here just to get the depth about right. Because of the way Open Flywheel Project cages are made, the cage is completely closed around here, so I can't get a feeler gauge inside, so I can't actually tell when I'm in the very middle. So we'll have to go by outside measurements. Swapping this around again. Center that. And a little bit more of a push. A little bit more of a